if you've been thinking about this YouTube thing for a while, and as I have for many years, you'll have heard that saying. YouTube gurus say it all the time in various ways, but you'll hear the riches are in the niches. Now, I don't like that saying for two reasons. One being, it seems a little reductive, and two being, it's not niches. Okay. It just isn't. And I know that people want to say, oh, well, I like one way or the other, but niche, it's okay. What does this mean? Riches are in the niches. Now, the conventional wisdom about YouTube has been that you pick a topic and then you pick something specific about that topic and then you get as specific as possible and then you iterate on that topic. And here's what always happens when you pick a niche and you don't pick a passion. Passions can be wide-ranging and can be interrelated with a lot of different things, and they can come from your life. Now, I was interested in tech, so I said, okay, so I'm interested in tech and I'm interested in audio, and I'm going to make YouTube videos about X, right? I just feel like that's a little bit backwards. If I were to start over again, I would want to come into this thing and say, what do I love? What is my driving force? What is my why? And how am I going to bring that why to other people who also have that why or something similar or related to my why? And as far as I can tell, my why is I sort of made creativity and creating things and being a passionate pursuer of art, my religion, for better or worse. And in doing that, I've had tons and tons of different kinds of experiences within that realm. So I probably would have involved more music-related stuff, not just tech. I probably would have allowed myself to be a little bit less tight-reined, because what ends up happening, and what ended up happening to me several times, was you sort of talk a product to death. There's only so many gaming headsets out there. There's only so many tutorials that you can do on how to set them up. There's only so much that you can say about a particular smartphone or even group of smartphones. There's only so much that you can do. So you find yourself being constricted by not having anything left to talk about, but still trying to find something to talk about. And early YouTube really kind of perpetuated this because the algorithm was a little less sophisticated. And so once it figured out that you were a channel that talked about this and it showed you to that audience, then it would sort of funnel you to that audience as long as the signals that it got back were that was a positive thing. And yes, I think that it still does work that way to a certain extent. And it wouldn't make sense to make a video one day about electric cars and a video the next day about horse training, because those are unrelated things. But this is the point that I want to make. People connect with people, right? So all the connections that I've made on YouTube over the years and the interactions that I've had with people have maybe started because we had a similar interest, but those 1,000 rabid fans out there, those people who really became ride or die with me and my channel, they stuck around because of me and what I was bringing to the table. They liked me. And so I've had many people, since I've made this sort of transition over to doing this channel as well as the tech channel, many people saying like, I'm coming over there too, because I just want to see whatever it is that you are doing. So yes, you want the topic to make sense in terms of all of the things that you talk about. I'm not going to start talking about, muscle cars on this channel because that wouldn't make any sense. I'm going to keep talking about what it is, my passion for creativity, my experiences with YouTube and the things that I've learned and have to offer along the way. So that's really kind of the whole thing in a nutshell. And there's a lot of talk about your avatar viewer, the person who is the best, if you could create them in a lab, who would be the best viewer for your channel? And I think that your avatar viewer isn't necessarily like somebody in this demographic with this background and this income or whatever. They might have some of those things, but I think that your avatar viewer, your ideal viewer, is some version of you. And I've heard people say the opposite of this, like you're not making videos for yourself. And that's true. You're not making videos for yourself. You're making videos for that version of you that's 6 months down in the, like before you got to where you are, or that version of you that was 20 and you're now 40, or that version of you that strives to be something different than what you are. That's the really important thing, is that your avatar viewer is not a mystery. You can study your avatar viewer. In fact, every day that you stop and watch YouTube videos, you are studying your avatar viewer. And there are ways to sort of build a better sense of what your avatar viewer might do. Like, you know, if you're watching on your regular YouTube feed, you might watch all kinds of different things and stuff about the topic that you're talking about on your channel. But you can make a blank channel or a blank account for YouTube and then only watch things that are related to the topics that you want to cover on your channel. And that's going to give you a wide ranging group of channels that you can look at. Maybe some that you found, maybe some that you haven't found, maybe some different ideas to do different kinds of videos, but you'll get a better, more rounded sense of the trends and topics that people are talking about if you study that. However, at its base core, your avatar viewer is some version of yourself. And the offer that you build when you are putting something out there, trying to bring people into your fold, should be something that would be valuable to that avatar, that version of you that exists in some other time or place or level of experience. I did some of that when I designed my Honest Creator Guide that you can go and download and go through that will help you figure out what kind of videos it is that you are making. You can find that in the link down below, and you can also find a link to my school, which is a community that's starting to build. We're bringing in people, and it's just early days. The school community is there. That's where you'll find the Honest Creator Guide. That's where you'll find a way to get in touch with me if you maybe want to work with me one-on-one. I'm taking on clients to do that. I have a few spots left open, so if you're interested in that, do go to the school community, sign up, and hit me with a DM there. And again, I just want to say, if you really want to get away from this idea of going for a niche and instead start building real connections with people, then you need to really think about who your audience is. And that's part of the reason that I'm here. That's part of the reason I'm asking you to subscribe, explore all those links that I just talked about. And as we go on, we can grow something less niche-y and more real together.